Hey guys, I'm all back in. Welcome to my 24 hours review of the Moto Razr 2023. Initially, I had plans to keep this phone for at least 30 days, do day in the life videos. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. I ended up only having 24 hours with the phone. You know, like they say, easy come, easy go. Unfortunately, I had to switch over to the Galaxy S23 FE instead. Long story, but I can go into that later on in the video. But for today's purpose, I'm going to be focusing on my 24-hour review of the Moto Razr. But before doing that, just want to give a quick shout out to my partner Mint Mobile. Currently, they offer 5G plan for as low as $15 a month. This includes fast internet speed, unlimited talk and text, and for a limited time only, you buy 3 months, you get 3 months free. So make sure to check them out, link in the description below. This is a limited time offer, only good until January 1st. Alright, so back to my Moto Razr story. So it all goes back to T-Mobile. They messed up my Jump on Demand plan. For those of you who are not familiar with the Jump on Demand plan, it basically allows me to lease the phone and trade it in every 30 days to get a new phone. This is especially helpful for me since I do phone reviews. It makes it easier for me to switch phones, and I just pay a set monthly amount based on how much the phone is worth. But instead, they transitioned me over to the Jump 2.0, and that plan only lets you switch phone once, pay a half your phone. But that's not the plan I want because I prefer to switch phones often. So long and behold, long story short, after 10 to 20 trips to T-Mobile, they finally figured it out. But the Moto Razr did not qualify for the Jump on Demand plan, but the Galaxy S23 FE does. Unfortunately, now I'm going to switch over to the FE. If there's a lot of interest, I can always rebuy the Moto Razr later on Amazon to do further testing. But there are a lot of good phones out there I haven't tried yet. Some of the Sony Xperia phones, S24 is around the corner, OnePlus 12 is or 13, whatever number it is now. There's so many other good phones down the line, it's hard to keep track. But for now, I'm just going to do a one-day review of the Moto Razr. Now, it does have a pretty good lasting impression for me. First of all, it's just the price. When the Moto Razr was first announced in 2019, that phone cost $1,500. Shortly after, Samsung came out with the Galaxy Z Flip 1. Technically, they never called it the one, but it is the one. That phone was $1,400. So just undercutting Motorola by a little bit there. And from then on, Samsung pretty much took over just in terms of flippable and folding phones. They introduced the Galaxy Z Fold 1. Yeah, flash forward a few years later, folding phones are still going strong. This year we saw OnePlus Open, we saw Pixel Fold, and Oppo, Xiaomi, Huawei, all those Chinese brands, they got a lot of cool flipping phones over there. In the US, there's not a lot to choose from. We got the Galaxy Z Flip series, the Moto Razr Plus, and now we got the Moto Razr. Terrible name, by the way, they all sound the same. But Moto Razr 2023 is what I'm going to be calling it. This phone is priced at $700, and this makes me really excited because, like I mentioned, it's half the price of the flipping phone when it first released, and it's definitely trending in the right direction. When I initially got my Moto Razr, I actually got it on sale for $500, so it's even cheaper. And that is something that I do hope that the Galaxy Z Fold series and all the folding phones will eventually trend towards $1,000, if not more. Because right now it's closer to the $2,000 range and it's not really affordable for most people. So fingers crossed we might see a budget variant of the folding phones somewhere in the near future. The Moto Razr basically proved that you do not need to spend $1,000 to get a really good experience on a folding phone, on a flipping phone at least. And I really did enjoy using it for 24 hours. It's pretty familiar with other flipping phones that I've used in the past. I've used all the Galaxy Z Flips. I used the Motorola Razr Plus. Once you open it up, it turns to a 6.9-inch screen. In the middle, there's still that little crease there. It's not that noticeable to me. I feel like Samsung kind of pops out more, and I feel it in the middle more. It's more obvious on Samsung phone. Don't get me wrong, I love Samsung phones, but either way, the crease is there regardless, and you will notice it more on the flipping phones compared to the folding phone due to the fact that the folding phones are larger and the crease is all the way in the middle compared to the flipping phone. Your fingers always squeezing across the middle. The Moto Razr has 8 gigs of RAM, which is pretty standard these days. I feel like 6, 8, 12. You're not going to really notice anything if you're just doing basic tasks one thing at a time, unless you're launching multiple apps, heavy gaming. For most people, 8 gigs of RAM should be enough. I didn't notice any lag or stutter or anything like that. Except when I launched the camera though, I didn't notice it did take a second to load. It's slightly slower than I was expecting, and if I notice it, then it's definitely somewhat of a cause for concern, but it's not the end of the world. Camera surprisingly is pretty good quality. I only snapped a few pictures during my 24 hours with the phone. But for some reason, in the back of my mind, either all the phone manufacturers are improving the camera significantly. But yeah, no, this is actually not bad for Motorola. I know Samsung, Pixel, Apple, they have good cameras, and apparently OnePlus Open does too. And I was pretty shocked on how good the Motorola camera was. Just taking random shots throughout the day and can't really complain here. One thing I did notice that the Moto Razr does have desktop mode, which is actually pretty cool. I prefer the desktop mode over Samsung DeX because Samsung DeX, for whatever reason, when I use it, I can only use one screen at a time. But the Motorola, they're free now or free for, whatever they're calling it, another terrible name, but it actually works really well. Once I connect this computer, I can drag it across my 3 monitors. I have a 3 monitor setup, and I can drag the app anywhere I want. Compared to Samsung DeX, when I connect it, it just stays in one monitor and can't drag the app to my other screen. At least it's not as easy or straightforward. So that's the downside of DeX. And I noticed Motorola did a really good job with the desktop mode. And you see that not to mention that the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5 does not even have DeX on their phone. So that's a $1,000 phone that doesn't even have a desktop mode. OnePlus Open does not have a desktop mode. So for a phone that you can get for $500 to $700 is really nice to see. It's not the end of the world to have it or not have it, but it's actually really convenient, and it was something that I was starting to enjoy, just using it as part of my daily life whenever I use my computer. Speakers on the Moto Razr, it's actually really loud. I was talking on the phone. I don't have any decibel measurement or anything like that. I just turned on the speaker and I noticed that it is much louder compared to the OnePlus or Pixel 8, any of the previous phones I've been using. So good job, Motorola, with the loud speakers. Little things you kind of take for granted of. Pretty easy to use for one-handed. You still have to reach all the way to the top due to the fact that it is a 6.9-inch display. But that's pretty much the same trend across all flipping phones. They tend to be long and thin, and this one is no different. It is using a 1-year-old chip, but I did find it to be pretty fast and efficient. Much better than the Galaxy A54, which is about $500. I find that to be much slower. So you can get a really good phone that is fast on a budget. And this is a very unique phone without breaking the bank, just in terms of form factor and having a cool phone. I did enjoy using it a lot. Battery life, my first day of using it, I have 5 hours of screen on time. It only lasted me 12 hours. Somewhat heavy usage, but it does have 30-watt fast charging, which is nice. You can plug it in, and in about 30 minutes, you can get 72% battery life, which is nice. Pixel 7a is around the $500 range as well. That only comes with 18-watt fast charging, and it takes forever to fully charge back up. So therefore, you have to charge it a few times throughout the day. It is IP52, so dust and water resistant at a very low level, but it does the job. You see that in some cases with these mid-range phones, they either go with dust resistant, water resistant, maybe they get rid of one or both. At least with this one, they got a nice combination of both, which I do like. And some of the things I don't like about this phone is the name. I don't like having to open it up every single time I want to use it. I understand that I can always just leave it open. And I do miss having like the bigger display, especially on Samsung phone. It's nice that you want to do vlogging and get in the preview screen. Here they have a tiny screen that it can potentially be used to preview, but instead they just have a random smiley face. I don't know what the point of that is. And battery life, it's only been a day. I do wish it would have been a little bit better, but under somewhat heavy usage, I got 12 hours. So assume on lighter usage day, I'll probably squeeze 15 hours, which is not the end of the world. 30-watt fast charging is solid for a phone at this price. It is a little bit hard to open. There's more friction. I feel like I almost dropped it a few times, even using 2 hands, due to the fact that it's just a little bit hard to open. Maybe over time, once you use it, it will be more loose. Like the first day, I just have some challenge open up the phone here and there. And at nighttime, I do have face unlock on, and the brightness just keep turning up. That does bother me a little bit, so I have to slide down the brightness. Samsung does a really good job of making the phone really bright when you're out in the sun, and if you're using your phone in pitch darkness, they also do a really good job of dimming the phone all the way down so it doesn't get uncomfortable. One day after using the Moto Razr, I feel like I always need to adjust the brightness a little bit, whether it's the face unlock or just the auto dimming function doesn't work that well, or it's just a tad brighter than I would like, and especially in pitch darkness. And for whatever reason, Motorola phone does not have always on display. I understand that you can just always download another separate app, but they just have like a preview display when you kind of lift up your phone. It'll show you the time and things like that, or you glance at it, you wave at it, it will show. But unlike Samsung and a bunch of other phones, OnePlus, where Pixel, where the always on is literally always on, which is the way I want. I don't want to have to touch my phone. I just want to glance at it and see the time. I know it's gonna kill battery a little bit more, but it is a feature that I really like. And for whatever reason, Motorola haven't incorporated it yet. 3 years of software update is really light for this phone, especially since it costs $700 at list price. We got the Pixel 8 offering 7 years of software updates, Samsung 4 years, Apple and all these other manufacturers going at least 4+ years or more. So this is definitely on the lighter side if you plan to keep your phone for a while. It's slightly disappointing, especially this phone came equipped with Android 13, and with the Pixel 8, you're already at Android 14. So you're already a year behind and you're getting less software support. So software has always been a challenge for Android phones, and this one is no different. There you have it, 24 hours review with the Moto Razr. I actually do like it for the price. Performance is good. The camera is actually pretty decent. Battery is okay. And overall, I like the idea of this phone due to the fact that they're able to bring the price down for flipping phones from $1,000 all the way down to $700, or even cheaper, $500 to $600 whenever it's on sale. So I think that's a really good trend, and Motorola is leading the way there. I hope Samsung will make a more budget variant of their flipping phone going forward, and maybe we might see a budget variant of the folding phones. So Motorola is doing a lot of good things here. I do wish I was able to use this phone longer. Unfortunately, my phone plan didn't work out. But let me know you guys are interested in seeing a more deep dive coverage on this phone. I may reassess it at some point, but who knows, by the time I get back to it, they might pump out the Motorola Razr 2024 by then. Anyways, hope you guys find this video to be helpful. Please check out my day one unboxing video if you haven't already. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.